Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are. It's very bright and sunny here today, so I'm so grateful for the good weather, and we've had a lot of rain, so hopefully this is going to stay sunny for a little while, but it's really a lovely morning, and I'm having my cup of tea. I've got my puka or pucka, whichever you call it, love tea. It's one of my favorites actually. It's lavender, rose, and chamomile. So it's a really lovely tea, not too strong, but perfect for me today. And it kind of, the word love always starts me off on a good foot too. So anyway, hope you are feeling loved and loving and ready for a new day. It's really, I've been thinking a lot about the difference between 60 and 70 and kind of how things really do pick up in our 60s, some very quick. We see the wrinkles, we see the sore knees, we see some of those things that happen very fast. But then there's some things that happen slowly, like, muscle loss and just, the changes in our temperament and our hair color, our skin tone. All these things go on and kind of give us a sense that things are changing. We need to try to embrace what is involved in that change. Now, we have a woman who writes for us. Her name is Debbie Hensley. Debbie wrote an article which is so upbeat and positive, I wanted to share it with you, which is 7 small steps towards a happier, healthier life in your 60s. And, as I said, it doesn't have to be big steps. It doesn't have to be massive changes. It's more of first an attitude change and then some practical things that you can do. So, Debbie actually leads something called a vision board workshop. And, it's where people get together with a collage of pictures from magazines and other places and then put together spontaneously how they see their future, what they see that attracts them, what kind of visualization matches where they're feeling and what they're hoping for. And she has these workshops, and they're very powerful. I've done them myself, and where you just don't think too much about the meaning behind the picture. You just grab it and say, oh, that touches me somewhere. I'll put that in my collage. And then you look back later and see where it's come. Actually, on just a related note, I'll tell you this story about my son, because when he was in, I think, high school, they did something similar to this and put together pictures. I don't even know what they were told to do, but it was pictures of their future and just their vision board. And of course, being the mom, I kept everything. I kept all his pictures, little goldfish pictures from when he was 2, all the way up to this one. And I found it a few years ago and shared it with him. And it was really amazing because where he is living now in Switzerland was just, you could see it in this picture. There were mountains, there were houses with shuttered windows, there was like a street, kind of a winding village street. And honestly, now I look at his place where he's staying now, and I look at that picture, and it was there. The germ of what he saw for his future was there. It was just so cool. But anyway, vision boards. This can help you to get a vision for the future, and then you can act on it. It kind of helps you get focus and direction. So Debbie holds these workshops, and I think kind of from that discovery of kind of being open to what's possible in your 60s and 70s, she gives some advice. These are the 7 small steps that you can take. I hope you find these useful. I read them through several times myself, and I think they work for me. And honestly, there's no silver bullets here. It's all stuff that we know, but that's kind of why we're here together on 60 and Me. Just to remind each other of, what's important to us and what we need to do to stay well. So first thing, move more. Of course, move more. There's so many things you can do now to walk, join clubs, walking clubs, hiking clubs. You can just go out for a walk by yourself. Now, walking isn't usually just enough. You've got to do some weight lifting. This can be just carrying your heavy groceries home, or instead of depending too much on technology. Do chair aerobics or yoga. We have a yoga chair and a gentle yoga series video, and there's lots of ways that you can sort of measure, or you can adjust yoga to your own mobility situation. So a little bit of movement can really move you forward in staying healthy in your 60s and 70s. So that's number 1. Second thing, and this is related, is control your weight. Now, don't as Debbie says, focus on numbers. Don't get your scale out every day and start measuring how much you weigh. It's more about reducing your dress size or your clothing size so you feel like things are just a little bit smaller. And that button does up really, really loosely rather than pulling it. Your metabolism, of course, slows down as you get older, and that's nothing. We can't do anything about the drop in estrogen and other hormones in our body, but we actually do need fewer calories. And studies have shown that this is very true. That if you can cut your calories, you can actually extend your life. It's just a fact. So again, one small decision a day can make a difference. Whether to start that day with chocolate and a little, a bowl of something with sugar in it, as opposed to a boiled egg and a piece of toast. Not so exciting, maybe, but it's just that little change that you can make with your weight. Another thing that Debbie says is so important is contributing to others. We've talked about this before, and honestly, I think 60andMe is a great place for you to practice this. And thank you for being here, by the way. I always say this. I always mean to say it lots of times because it's important that we're a community, but it's not just a community. We're people. And we're people here to help each other and contribute to one another's journey. And often in the comments on the website, Facebook, and now on our new Patreon site, you can actually start connecting with women in a real way. In a way that helps them on their journey. Sometimes it's just a smile or a hug or saying, sending my love, that's really tough. That just can do so much sometimes to make the difference for someone who's alone, maybe had a loss by themselves and so on. You can go to the soup kitchens and pantries for homeless people. You can help in hospices. There is a lot you can do. And, I know from my own experience that it really can add a dimension that's, you can't measure it. It's just a feeling, a buzz, a lightness in your heart when you know that you've done something for someone else. Do something practical too. Like my friend of mine in Bali is working on Refill Bali, which is a project for getting people to drink water from a refillable source rather than having lots of plastic bottles. There's the plastic cleanup around the world. That's not even in the tropical countries. That's everywhere. So there's lots of things you can do. Send a letter or card. I do this for my grandson. I send him cards all the time. He thinks, oh, Baba. But it's, just doing that makes you feel good. Another thing is to fill your cup up. Make it full. You can have an empty glass or you can have a full glass. And I think that you can do certain things in your life to fill that glass. And you know the things that make you feel good. Maybe it's a book at night or audio book. Maybe it's a FaceTime or a Skype call with someone that you love, or like your grandson or your children. I think it's so easy to skip by those times and not do them because you think you're busy or you think they're busy. But what the heck? I mean, just do it. And if they're busy, they will be. But, being grateful costs you nothing, and it does change your attitude. Back to practical. Another thing Debbie says, really important, drink more water. Well, I guess tea kind of counts for water, but it's not the same. Drink lots of water. Really when you feel kind of low and sludgy, she uses the word sludgy. I like that word. You just want, to sleep. You just want to sit down. But when you feel energized and you want a glass of water, cold ice water, maybe put a drop of lemon in it or lime, it just makes you feel like doing stuff, makes you feel more energized. So drinking water, that's super important. And, I guess as we get to close on these 7 things, there's one that I think Debbie raises in a very, very positive way, and I think it's important. And that is be realistic. I looked at myself in the mirror the other day, as we do, and I thought, gosh, I really don't even recognize myself as that young person that I just remember myself having characteristics and facial expressions, and they're changed. I'm not that same person. And then I did something magical. I smiled. And I figured, oh my goodness, my smile is the same. It's pretty much the same old smile I've always had. And I'm just kind of lowering my expectations about what being 60 or 70 will be. Approach the journey with realistic expectations. And don't, be real about what's going on in your body and going on in the physical appearance, and make those changes that you can, control what you can. But the things that you can't, or the things that you have to embrace, find a way. Just find a way to do that. I think it's important, and Debbie, I'm just not looking at my notes here, that Debbie actually reminds us that don't expect other people to read your mind. If you need a hug, if you need some time with someone, you need some advice, or just need to have a little cry or whatever, don't be afraid to ask. Now, of course, be sensitive to other people's situations too. But if you've got someone that you can do that with, it's it helps you to take that step in the direction of being more open and healing yourself, just getting over these bumps, these road bumps. So Debbie calls it a life lift. And I think that's okay. It's free. You've got it under your control. You've got 8 or 7 things there that you can do. So let's all have our life lift today, and leave your notes, the comments below. Tell us what is one way that you like to give yourself a life lift. Maybe it's something that somebody else can learn from. Okay, everybody. Well, look, have a wonderful day. I hope it's sunny and bright where you are. If not, take that umbrella, get out there anyway, and know that you're loved and that we respect you for who you are and what you're doing. And I'm so, so happy to have you here in our community. And I want to invite you to come back tomorrow, and we'll just go through some other topics of interest to you, and take very, very good care. Tell us what you do for your life lift. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.